Hello, I'm still here, top of Church Street, Primark, Bold Street end on this very busy, noisy, windy now, Thursday afternoon. Cyrus, the busker, still behind me, an excellent entertainer. See, is more food for thought. The crewman, let's take that as an example. That's not in Devon and Cornwall, is it? No, of course it's not. It's not there, Devon and Cornwall. It's where new arrivals have sunk their roots so deep, they exercise a lot of power, influence in and around those areas, those communities. Of course it is. It's not in Devon and Cornwall, is it? Well, exactly. So why would it be in our city's best interest to have more and more new arrivals, especially those which is most from the culture that doesn't want to assimilate, wants to dominate, come into our city? Why would it be in our city's long-term best interest? Well, it wouldn't, ladies and gentlemen, right? And it's not. You know it's not. Everyone knows it's not. How can it be? We're becoming more and more beholden to them, changing our Scouse culture, imposing theirs over ours, and everything that comes with that, right? So why would we want this here in our glorious city? Well, common sense says we don't, but these politicians seem to be disregarding common sense, right? They don't seem to care. They don't care about their own children and grandchildren, let alone ours. Well, if they did, they'd be opposing what's happening, because like I've said, most, not all, but most new arrivals coming into our glorious city are from the culture that doesn't want to assimilate, it wants to dominate. And there's all things that come with that are not in our cities or people's best interest, right? Of course, getting busy now, bear with me. Of course it's not. So you would think, as I've said, common sense would prevail, especially after we've watched what's happened to other communities regarding cultural change and everything that comes with it. Like I've said, where's the groom in Devon and Cornwall? I don't think so. That's what I'm saying. So why would we want this here in our city? And given, like I've said, metaphorically speaking, we're in possession of a crystal ball that's telling us what's on the way, how it unfolds, and the end result. We mad, literally mad, as a great man once said, to ignore the writing on the wall. I know the good people of Liverpool aren't ignoring the writing on the wall. They're just trying to figure out who to trust and who to vote for. That's what it is, right? That's the only thing that's stopping this outrage against our city from continuing, right? That's what it is. The public are just not sure who to trust, who to vote for. We've got to change that. We've got to find candidates, reliable, credible, opposed to further cultural change, and give them your votes. Because short of that, ladies and gentlemen, cultural change and everything that comes with it will sweep across our glorious city, our cherished city centre, long-standing proud Scouse communities. Our cherished city centre, that's changing. Our children and grandchildren are going to be coming into our cherished city centre soon, if they're not already doing so. What are they going to be coming into? A hostile place that's unfamiliar, unfriendly, because that's the direction that it's going in. Of course it is. Like I've said, where's the groom in Devon and Cornwall? I don't think so. So, given we know all this, and given we're in possession, metaphorically speaking, of a crystal ball, we would be mad not to heed this warning. The right is on the wall, ladies and gentlemen, right? We can't keep ignoring this. These politicians, they know what Joe Owens is saying is right. Well, if I'm not right, then do a video with a counter proposal. No, Joe, you've got it all wrong, right? Cultural things, the best things is sliced bread, blah, 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 and we need more of it. like we see in Kensington and Fairfield, or if you want to go one step further, what we see in Bradford, Leicester, Oldham, Burnley, Keighley, Rotherham, Halifax, Telford, Walsall. The list is endless. Now, like I've said, we're still well and truly in the driving seat here, ladies and gentlemen. Right, we can stop further cultural change, but like I've said, the only thing that's in the way at the moment is the public don't know who to trust, who to pass power to that's going to deliver and stop the outrage now happening here in our glorious city. That's all it is. It's not that they're all Labour and they want to continue voting Labour no matter what. They don't. They're just not sure who to put their faith in. That's the way. They're not sure who to put their faith in, and due to that, that's why they continue to vote Labour, right? Otherwise, Labour would be out tomorrow. They all would. They'd never get a chance ever again. But the public's just in a dilemma. Well, who do we put our faith in? Who do we put our trust in, Joe? But we've got to change that, right? We have to change this, right? Good people have to come forward, right? The public knows they can trust and rely on, right? Put an end to this outrage that's happening to our city. This is an outrage, ladies and gentlemen, right? Culture that doesn't want to assimilate, wants to dominate. They're not our friends, right? Never have been, never will be. In fact, don't want to be. Sorry for delivering the awful truth, but what else can I say? It is the awful truth, the awful reality as well, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go now. It's really getting mega busy again, you know. But just think, ladies and gentlemen, what's going to happen to our children and grandchildren if this isn't stopped? What sort of future is going to be there for them? There's not going to be one, right? There's going to be a future, new arrivals, and the culture they are brought with them, right? Which they're not forsaken. They've no intentions whatsoever of forsaking. They're going to impose their ways over our ways. Right, so I'm going to definitely go now. Right, remember, say no to cultural change, yes to Scout pride, shout it out loud, Scouts and proud. Okay, thank you.